What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's up, Meelz?
Three things.
Three things with Meelz. Okay, let's go.
I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Um,
Right.
the first one is we've got to get this buff nigga off my timeline. We just
Ashton Samuels or whatever.
we got to get him. Like it's ridiculous how it just popped up and now it's one of the only things that I see at this point of just like memes. You know what I'm saying? Face in water, other
Well,
things, and I'm just like, oh my
one of
god.
the first times I'm glad I'm not working in a brand in any capacity right now. Having to come up with some because like I'm seeing everyone kind of squeeze the life out of this meme right now.
McDonald's. I was like,
Yeah, like
McDonald's? Come on, man.
I'm like,
You woke
geez,
someone up at 6:34 in the morning to go take a picture of a bowl of Sprite?
I've always been the person to say that not everything, like after a certain amount of hours, not everything needs to be like memed or like talked about like in that manner because it's so fleeting. And
Yeah,
I think one thing that like social media managers and they're the most disrespected, you know, profession in the game. Like I
right.
think it is a thankless job to be a social media manager. I've been one. I've helped strategize. I've helped other social media managers, and I think that one thing I've always tried to tell, you know, companies I've worked for is like, hey, like this is gonna pop our numbers for, you know, a day or two, and then tomorrow, then what? You know, like you're always chasing that high of this moment again and again and again, and it's not possible, especially not now where it's like, remember Mills like in 2017, 2018, it was a meme a day. It was something going
Yeah.
on every single day. Like these things have slowed down considerably in recent years where you'll do the Ashton thing, you know, one day and then the next day it'll be old. You know what I mean? It's like what's the big return on it? It's like, okay, you'll pop one really good engagement number for the month, but how about we do something that's lasting? How about we create our own thing? You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of social media managers, I feel bad because they know the same thing and yet they're probably being told to do this right now. And you know, I just got to say shout out to all of y'all.
Shout out to all y'all. It's nuts out here. But yes, I want that nigga off my timeline.
There's something dark. There's something dark about that guy. And
Yeah, it's weird. First of all, it's kind of psychotic. Um the routine and then the get ready with me of it all. Like it's just psycho in general. Um but then it also feels like a parody, which is weird because it feels like just things I it doesn't look like something that someone should really do, but I actually don't know his life or don't know him at all. So maybe it is something that he does on a daily basis, but it feels like a parody at this point.
yeah, I mean, I think the best meme to come out of it is something that I don't think a lot of brands, and this is free game just because I'm bored. The,
Okay.
the the one part where he's at the computer that's clearly off, and he's like, "So looking at it, bro, we're gonna have to go ahead and get at least 10,000." That is the best thing of the it's not the water, it's not the face in the water, it's not the
It's not the
jumping in the
banana.
pool, it's not the banana, it's the computer part, is where he's at the computer that's clearly turned off and he's like, "You know what, bro? We're gonna have to go ahead and get to 10,000." Like that is the most grind set, like parody of a grind set. Like I don't feel like a lot of people are like really I've seen a lot of singular accounts do it, but not a lot of brands do that. Like that part is the best. Like I could think of 1,000 different ways that you could put that on. Chick-fil-A could do it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of other people do. I got my marketing hat on today. I'm giving away free game, but I think that's the
Look
best
at
part of the
that.
whole
All
thing.
right. We got a good you got a good surprise. All right. So speaking of marketing game, this might go with number 2. Um do you know how people on the internet are like men should not have access to microphones anymore? They should not have podcasts. All of
We
that other
shouldn't.
rhetoric.
We shouldn't, yeah.
Michelle Obama should not have a podcast.
No, she should not. I think we need to stop having people I saw that the other day, and I was like, "Why
I
does she
was
have one now?"
I was and it's with her brother and I'm just like y'all are no offense. I listened to the clip. This is an incredibly boring discussion even for the clip. Like for the
Like
social media cutout of it. I'm just like Huh, they're, like, talking about, like, the clip that I saw was how they convinced her to let Barack run for president.
Don't we
Um,
know this story like 1,000 times over?
of course, there's a books, there's
There's a movie
interviews.
about it.
There's a
But
movie
remember,
about it.
but Viola Davis, "You're a nigga. You're a nigga."
Oh my god. So, yeah, I'm just like, "Nah, I don't think we need the Michelle Obama podcast." Not during these times, no. We need probably a different we could use more help or just another voice in a different way. I don't know if it's gonna be a podcast way, but she probably is over all the political shit. It seems like she's heavily over it, just based on her not showing up to anything, um, not really talking about anything current. She's just kind of like, and
Just
they're
going for
gonna
it.
have like, yeah, they're gonna have some like it's just, I don't know. I wasn't a fan
I
of it. Not that
listen,
I'm go get your money, do whatever it is. But
I
at the end of the day,
need
I'm like, ugh.
I need Michelle to be talking to us off of a fifth of Henny and a couple rips of a blunt.
You want her in Drink Champs?
Yeah. Yes, that
Michelle
is
Obama in the building.
absolutely
Clap it
Michelle
up, clap it
Obama.
up, clap it up,
Clap it up
clap
for
it up.
Michelle Obama, everybody. I need her to do that. I need her that's the energy Michelle Obama needs to be bringing to me. That's what I
Oh
wanna
my
see,
g
is that.
yeah, I would see just more in a natural way. Like, I feel like there's just between that, um, new wave of, like, morning talk shows, I'm just like, none of this feels like we need new prominent voices and actual like people like the person who I see on my timeline actually a lot on on TikTok a lot who has a podcast is to call her daddy girl, call me daddy girl.
Oh, yeah, I hate them, yeah.
Yeah, but I think she's like she's got to figure it out for her. Um in terms of like who she's interviewing. I was like, "What? You interviewing Monica Lewinsky? Like are we throwing over the patriarchy with Monica Lewinsky? Like overthrowing it? Like what are we doing?" Um so all these podcasts that I just see come across my own thing, and maybe one day we'll come across someone else's timeline and I was like, them niggas should not have a podcast because clearly every time someone comes across ours, we're like, what the fuck is this? I was looking at the clip. We're gonna talk about it on the podcast today. I was looking at the clip you sent me this morning, and I was just like, oh, God damn it. Um, but
I sent a bunch of clips this morning just to get you mad, to get you hyped
yeah.
for the show. Yeah.
Listen, and that's when I knew what the show the direction for today's episode was. I was like, we're gonna have to talk about this.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get this thing together. Third thing, rest
Okay.
in peace, George Foreman.
Yeah, rest in peace. One of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Without
Absolutely.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
I had the worst experience with the Foreman grill every time I think
I
about it.
never had one.
The the funny thing is I put up that King of the Hill clip over the weekend um on Twitter, and I low key could not agree more with Hank Hill on this on how he feels about the Foreman grill because the Foreman grill was this essentially this grill that they just slapped his name onto, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
he
you
had nothing to do with, like, the development or anything of it, yeah.
yeah, but it's George Foreman. So, and they'll show it's like, look at all the oils and all the juices flowing out of it. I'm like, nigga, that's the best part. What are you doing? So every time I bought the George Foreman grill. Had to be when I first got. This wasn't like an impulse purchase. Don't make it seem like I just knew it would happen when
I
I
didn't
first
say
got my
nothing.
big
I didn't
job.
say nothing. That's your guilt.
I just
That's
knew
your
when I
guilt.
first got my big job, my first grown job. Shout out to DMV, by the way. Shout out to you for getting your first big time, big boy job, man. Shout out to
Shout
you,
out to
DMV.
DMV. Brr, 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 brr. Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to Jay too for also getting a shout out to everyone getting jobs. It's hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing when people get gigs and shout out really just shout out to our Patreon community, but we all celebrate our fellow brothers and sisters in the group, and that gives me hope. Like when you guys
It
succeed,
sure
that
gives
gives
me
me
hope.
hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Um, I was like, let me know what you apply for, nigga. Slide me in. Um, but so I when I got this job, I bought a George Foreman grill because I was like, all right, I'm gonna be just like cooking meals. and I need to lose all this weight I gained in my senior year of college, and then all the other years I was did not have a great job. So it's like, all right, bet I'm gonna buy the George Foreman grill. We can be making turkey burgers. We're gonna be making all types of shit. When I tell you, I put this turkey burger in that fucking grill, and the shit tastes like metal. It was the worst. Like, I'm thinking it's gonna taste nah. It made my house smell like burnt iron. It made my burger smell like a burned iron. It made I was like, yo, so it got to the point where we bought the Foreman grill. I used it once and it sat there for years because I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care how much juice is spilling in the bottom of the tray. Like, I'm never doing this again. So George Foreman, shout out to the Foreman grill if it helped you. If you're maybe cooking dope on it, I'm sure it was great.
Cook
Um,
Cooking dope on it. Uh, listen, I
cooking dope
never
on a
had
Foreman
one.
grill.
I fried my shit on the pan like regular people.
Look at you, just one of the regular guys. I'm about to
Yeah.
fry my shit on the pan right now. After we finish the podcast. Um, but no, the Foreman grill. Shout out to George Foreman, rest in peace. Naming all your children a version of George is a bold move, but the legacy will
Georgina.
live on.
Wait, what
Georgetta.
let's find his kids. George
It's
hold on.
George. It's
Foreman
essentially.
kids names. Uh wait, what are the names of his 12 kids?
Hey man, if you got it, go off. You know what I'm saying?
Uh everything Michi Foreman, George Foreman Jr., Georgetta Foreman, Frida Foreman, who was also a boxer,
Yes.
George Monk Foreman the third, Leola Foreman, Natalie Foreman, George Big Wheel Foreman the fourth, uh, George Red Foreman the fifth, George Little Joey Foreman the sixth. Jesus Christ, he
Listen,
loved
man.
himself. But
He
he, when you get hit in the head that many times, you don't really know. You just say, call him whatever, man.
listen, man. A nigga back then get rich. You fucking whatever. He's as many times as you want, and that Foreman grill fed all his damn kids. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So shout out to that. Oh, there is actually a picture where all 12 of them are in the same picture. That he had 5 sons and 7 daughters. All 5 of his sons are named George Foreman. Okay. Um, that's all I got.
imagine I have so many Justin Davises.
J5, J6, J7, you know
Seven.
what I'm saying? J8,
What's
you know
funny
what
is
I'm
that
saying?
me and my wife have the exact same initials. So I wanna try and see if my kids can all have the exact same initials too.
Have you thought, all right, what are your thoughts on, well, my first thing with kid names is that never tell anyone what you're going to name your child, especially people that you value in your life, like your parents, um, because they will tell you why it shouldn't be named that.
Well,
Um,
I mean, they just gonna have to deal with it.
oh, wait, your dad's coming today.
Yeah, he is coming today. Yep. He's
Okay.
in Atlanta right now. I'm tracking his flight.
Good for you.
Tracking his steps because I don't want him to miss anything. If I see him
Amen.
going too far left, I'm like, "Wait, get straight. Go
Oh
straight."
my God. Well, good, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm excited. Um, no, I'm trying to think of. I've thought of kids' names, but then usually the person that I'm with is usually like, why would the fuck? I had a weird thing with Bossa
What?
Nova. Bossa Nova to me was so cool of a fucking
Of a name?
yes.
What are you, Spike Lee?
I was like, I heard Bossa Nova genre. I was like, that's such a cool thing. Like, I'm gonna
It's like
save that.
that you are, you know what, Meals? I think that we gotta come to terms with the fact that you might be a weeb. I think you're a weeb.
I am a little bit of it, but
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
I would. I
it
don't think I would go across with it. Mind you, this is. I've thought about this before. This was since I was like 10 years old, 11 years old when I first heard
uh-huh.
of the genre bossa nova. This isn't like when I'm like 23 and like trying to figure it out, but it's always stuck in my head. But yeah, I'm named after my dad's middle name. Um, I think my dad is named after his dad's little name. Are you a Justin Davis
Oh,
third?
I'm a
You
I'm a
first?
first of I'm a first of my kind.
Okay, look at you.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I wanna do, like, a Justin Jr. I don't know if I want that vibe,
Hmm. I don't think I would either, to be honest with you. It would
right?
depend how
Like,
many kids I have. I would have to reach George Foreman levels. I'm like, I think I can get a junior in here. Like, I think we could fuck around and get a junior in here.
I don't know. I don't know if I could.
Hmm.
But
The
I
the
don't think
funny
people I don't think people wanna hear us, talk about our kid names, though.
no, not at all. Funny thing is on King of the Hill as well. Um, the character Khan, who's a neighbor of Hank, the Laotian neighbor.
Yeah, the
Um,
Bobby's girlfriend's, dad.
yeah, he wanted a boy so much, and then he got a girl and named her Connie, but still calls her Khan Junior
Yeah,
because
Con
he
Jr.
wanted one. Because he wanted a
When
great
is
show.
when is the King of the Hill reboot
I think it was
happening?
supposed to come out earlier this year, so I can't tell you when it's coming.
Because they got everybody back, obviously, except Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
I wonder when that's coming back. But you wanna get into it? I wanna start off the show with,
Yeah, let's talk.
there is several events named for WrestleMania because we questioned and rightfully so went hard on the roast of WrestleMania thing that they announced last week.
Yes,
Um
easily.
and it, there's more that they're planning to do. There's like WrestleMania after parties uh every night of WrestleMania weekend.
They are trying to squeeze Vegas dry for every fucking drop that it has.
Yes.
First of all, I'm not going
Um
to a WWE sanction after party
I
unless it's
want you
like
to
sponsored by WWE.
so we're going to play a little game. Okay?
Okay, okay.
And in this game, I wanna know which party you would go with based on who's
Mm,
gonna be there. Which party you would go to based on who's gonna be there, okay?
okay.
So
All right.
so
Who all
Thur
gonna be
so
there? I love it.
so so Thursday, mind you, Thursday, make sure you go to Wally Mania before you guys go to this after party, but this shit's probably gonna start at, like, 1 a.m. Valentino Khan, who was the DJ at WrestleMania in
I heard good
Dallas
things.
when we
I
were.
heard good things.
He's the man. But he's DJing with Charlotte Flair, Rey Mysterio, and Bianca Belair on Thursday. Don't say anything yet. I don't want to hear
Okay,
it.
okay,
I got
okay.
more. I got more.
All right.
Friday
I'm taking
is
notes.
Friday's Metro Boomin and Liv Morgan and Braun Breaker. Saturday is
Hmm.
Machine Gun Kelly and the Usos. And this is after
Uh,
WrestleMania. This is after WrestleMania, by the
I
way.
know the Usos sick.
No, they not sick. They happy.
Actually, no, it's probably like free. Everything free. It's like
Yeah,
bottles
what
on
are you
y'all.
saying? And depending on what day the J match is with Gunther, we might be getting some shit. You know what I'm saying? But then Sunday, after night two, Rob Gronkowski, Flo Rida, Tiffany Stratton, Damian Priest, and Valentino Khan on Sunday. And that's the Gronk Beach WrestleMania after party. That's like the Gronkowski themed version of it.
So my thing with the last day is I know Damian Priest gonna turn that bitch up.
Yes, sir.
Um, Damian Priest probably gonna leave the club shirtless. He's just gonna be
He
different.
he
It's
gonna
gonna be on
walk in
different
the
timing.
he walking in there. Let's just be clear. A lot of these niggas is walking into the club shirtless. All right.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. Uh where who would you rather be? Like who would you not go to? Which one would you not go to?
I'm not going to Florida. I'm sorry.
You're a buck. All right,
The
I'm gonna
last
leave
one.
it.
Yes. I realized what I said, but I hadn't actually finished my thought. But I know I'm not going to that one. I'm not going to Machine Gun Kelly and the Usos.
Bugging.
It's just yeah, nah. Just nah. Machine Gun Kelly doesn't look like a good hang to me, like ever, or a good like purveyor of music. So it's really between the first two, and I'm kind of actually torn because it's like, all right, Metro Boomin.
That shit gonna be whack.
Live is a good time from what I heard,
Live is lit, bro.
but also I feel like Liv is now getting to the stage where she's like, please don't touch me. Um,
Huh?
like if people want to be like, yo, what up, Liv? Like leave me alone. Like I'm here, I'm chilling. Um, Charlotte for sure is on that time. but
You don't wanna party with Charlotte
Who's
and
Charlotte
Bianca?
with? Who's Charlotte
Charlotte's with
Giannis?
Bianca and Rey Mysterio, who old ass really need to be asleep during that.
That first party sounds. I'm gonna go with Metro Boomin and Liv.
I knew you were gonna do that shit. That's the wackest one.
I'm low key. I'm leaning to. Don't say that. Come on, this is us. You
That's
know.
the wackest one, alright?
Are
It's
you trying to
between
hear Metro Boomin shit, or are you trying to hear fucking um Panic at the Disco blended into the fucking Gangrel's theme music? You know, like
now one thing about it, he never did that. So
okay,
that's you bringing your TikTok, hate into this. He's never done that. That's number 1. Number 2, he's fucking lit.
okay.
You're bugging and you're a hater.
I'm, I'm I like
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah,
I'm
come
okay
on,
with
man.
Metro.
It ain't gon the most lit one is probably gonna be the Sunday party. I'm telling you, it's probably gonna be the Sunday one. I would go to the
I'm
Sunday
sure
one. I would skip the rest of those to go to the Sunday one. Thursday one, I pop in, just, show my face, be in there,
Thursday's
nod
too
my head.
early. Thursday, if you get in there, it's like
Bro,
being.
Meals, it's Vegas, so it's not too early. I'm telling
But I'm
you.
just saying the WrestleMania. I feel like people haven't even really like flown in yet. You know what I'm
Yes, they have.
saying?
Bro,
Like
people are gonna be there from, like, Monday.
I know. Like, but I'm saying like the general. I don't know. Like, I feel like Friday, Saturday might be that sweet spot where it's like, all right, it's gonna be like lit, like action. Um, Thursday, niggas gonna be like, shit, I gotta wake up for Hall of Fame. Fuck. Um,
They're
I
not
know
gonna be there.
Friday night, all them NXT kids gonna be leaving at 8 o'clock. It reminded me of, I think it was
Well, no,
Wale Mania.
they can't because they got a show in Vegas on Tuesday anyway. They're all
Ye
there.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna party on Sunday, so actually Sunday might be the move, low key. Like,
And it's
NXT
after
kid.
night 2, like, I would not
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, alright, you sold me. Sunday is definitely the night.
Yeah, like,
Like,
Friday's gonna be after Hall of Fame, like you said, after Hall of Fame, niggas gonna Liv gonna show up like, "Oh, nigga, I gotta get ready for my match tomorrow, like, I don't really
uh,
wanna do this shit." Like,
my
Sunday is like "We did it, we made it," party, you know what I'm saying? Like, Saturday is like, if Jay wins that title on Saturday, Imma have to be there to see what that nigga gonna do. Like,
Saturday is like, we still got work tomorrow.
nah, Saturday is like if Jay win I'm telling you, if Jay wins, Saturday is gonna be one to watch. I think that'll be the underrated one. I
Okay.
feel as though if niggas is really trying to see that Metro one, I think people should definitely rethink that because that'll probably be the most TD. It's right after fucking Hall of Fame, which is already late.
Alright, I'm with it. I think
Just saying.
Sunday is definitely the day, because I think you get a good mix of NXT kids who will have
I
finished their work for the weekend,
Yeah, I might be able
and,
to, I'm sliding
you
on
know,
Steph Acker, you
come
feel
on,
me?
you know what I'm saying? A little JCJ in action. Let's see. Jada Parker. Uh, that seems like a good time. What else happened? Oh, we gotta figure out what else happened in this damn weekend. That we
Yeah,
won't be
a
at.
lot. Too much is happening that weekend. The Lillian Garcia, she announced that she's not gonna be announcing anymore.
Shout out to her.
She said, "Fuck, y'all travel
Listen,
too much."
man, she was under contract too. I feel you, sis. Good 6 month contract. Get your money and get out of there. I feel you. She was like, "No, I will not be announcing, but I'll do some special shit here and there." And I was like, "You know what? Fair enough."
We good.
Because, yeah, she had her time. She had more than enough time. And it's not that I'm saying, I think people are too hard. It was like, yo, she's whacked. Da, da, da. I'm like, in our post Samantha world where Samantha doesn't even want to be seen with us anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, she follows me on Twitter now. I didn't even know,
Samantha the Bomb?
Samantha the mom.
Wow.
You think we can get her on the A show?
Uh, you don't ask me to answer that question in
Okay.
a
Would you do it if I get her? Would you, or would it be like, and a solo interview with me?
Yeah, yeah, I would do it, yeah, for sure.
Okay, okay, all right. I can
Yeah.
ask. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if
you
she'd
get
do
yeah,
it.
just go ahead and ask, go ahead and ask.
I don't know if she'd do it, but I would tell her we played a single, during our biggest show of the year. Uh, you know, couple
Speaking of the big
spins.
Speaking of the biggest show of the year, we are currently in the throes
Tell her I
of
know A
planning.
plus.
We're in the throes of planning one of the biggest, WrestleMania prediction parties that we are in the midst of, like, recording very, very soon, so you guys make sure that you are, staying tuned to what's going
Absolutely.
on. We got a lot of stuff planned.
And if some shows are lighter than others, just recognize that we're doing a lot. But
Yeah. We've legitimately already started.
yeah, yeah. So it is what it is. We're doing a lot. And I still have all the social stuff to figure out as well. Uh do we want to get into the wrestling for this week?
Um,
Sidebar. How did you feel about AEW's Blizzard break or whatever the hell they call it?
Lizard break, wasn't it just a regular episode? It was crazy. I
Edge
mean, I
came
think
in, said, "I'm a professional. I show up to work." And I was like, "Nigga, what are you doing?"
that's your man. How do you feel about your mans, like, being like this?
Uh, I always felt like he was like this, low key. He's always had this, like, I don't even want to say chip on his shoulders because that made it seem like he's some sort of underdog because he's very much not. But he's always been kind of like old man, um, especially with the young kids and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I don't know. Edge to me is weird. Um, the match was weird. His need to kind of like prove something at this point of his career is kind of weird. Um,
I just think it was just like, for them to run that match back and it not really be any better than the first time they did it a week ago is, like, very, very much indicative of, like, a lot of the problems with AEW right now. It's like they that this singular program is kind of taking up so much airspace, but I'm
it's
gonna
over
be
now.
real. I I'm gonna be real. I don't think that even if the title was off Mox, that it fixes a lot of the problems that they have right now. I'm just gonna be honest.
No, not at all. But greatest show on earth. Every pay per view is fire.
It's just not the cool thing to watch right now, you know? I think to a lot of people, it's just, like, not it. We're and the thing is, and we'll I guess we're gonna talk about it today. It's like you're like you're like right next to one of the biggest moments and like or the biggest period in WWE right now. And it's like it's gonna be hard not to get compared to it. But it's like even with people being so down on the Mania build, there's just as many people that are down on AEW just in general. You know what I'm saying?
They've been saying the television has been better the last couple of weeks. That's what they've been saying.
You've been watching it like we've been watching it, and I'll tell
I
you
have
what.
not been watching it, unfortunately. I mean, I catch it last hour. I catch it after All Stars, and then even then, I kind of like, um, that means skimming through it.
Okay.
As an old VCR thing, I am old. Um, but yeah, I mean, my thing is, by the time we get to the main event, I'm like, what the fuck did the good part of the show happen already? Damn, I show up and I gotta watch Megan Bain versus Chris Statlander. Like, damn, bro.
I thought that match was solid, but it's like you keep beating Chris Statlander, and it's like for
Nigga,
what?
I was told she was one of the biggest faces in the company. Her and Willow. This is what I was told.
You heard wrong. You heard wrong.
um, but no, the program with Mox Edge, which is seeming it's going to lead to an Edge and Christian reunion at some point.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. It's clear, and it looks like what is it? FTR is gonna be involved in that.
Yeah, which is very, like, self-serving in a way. Like, who wanted this is the question I really ask for
Y'all
this.
did it. Hashtag y'all did.
No. I who wanted this is the question everybody should be asking themselves when it comes to an Edge and Christian reunion. Because keep it buck, Edge and Christian were a good tag team. Their run was incredibly limited compared to the other 2 tag teams that they're compared to. And we had this discussion of whether Edge and Christian are two-time Hall of Famers, whether they're going solo or going as a tag team. It's potential, but realistically, I think their solo careers far eclipse whatever they did as a tag team.
Mhm.
Like, they're known as best friends, and I think we can leave it as that. Um, I also think they're both in the Hall of Fame already. Is Christian in the Hall of Fame?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
You sure? Just Edge?
I would be it would be funny if he never got into the Hall of Fame.
Don't do that to my man Christian. To
It would be
my
hilarious.
Jay Rezo.
His name is Jey Resso. J Ri
Alright.
Wrestle Wrestle? Rezzo? Whatever.
But it is what
Soraya
it is.
Soraya has a book coming out, and, she said that she's been talking a lot about just her career and, things that she's been through, like some of her old
She's
writing,
she very
partners.
knows. She knows what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. She says, that, she might not be, able to have a match with Mercedes at AEW. She probably won't be around long enough. So she's basically hinting that her contract is coming up with, AEW pretty soon. And she also said that, on a potential WWE return, she said if there's an opportunity to do something fun, she'll come back. So,
Her
uh,
contract was up last year.
and they brought
That's
her back.
and they brought her back, and she's not been on television through the entire contract.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
they signed an extra. She they needed a down payment on the new crib. I respect it. Something had to happen because why would you sign her back? Not only that, for 1 year, you're like, all right, we get one more year out of this, and then never use her. And then she doesn't even seem like she seems like she's perfectly fine not being used. She's like, I still get paid. I don't give a fuck.
And that's how they be. That's how they
Like,
be. They just take the money and run, just like,
yeah,
Miro.
I got my book coming.
Speaking of Miro,
Shout to you know,
speaking of Miro, where's he at?
come on, man. Love
Oh,
wins.
oh,
Love
okay.
wins. Him,
This
Lana,
ain't about love, bruh. This ain't about
back to
love, bro.
this is business.
This ain't about love, bro.
Is it the brand, the Miro brand, the Lana brand was
What where
failing, so they
who
decided they had to come
who
back
hiring
together?
him, bruh? Who hiring him?
Stop. Come on.
Alright.
NXT. When he debuts at Stand and Deliver, I don't want to hear anything.
Jesus Christ. That's where you put him at, bruh? I don't think there's any room for this nigga.
When
He's
he hits
being
a when he hits a spinning solo on Ricky Starks for some reason. Just for no reason at all.
Bro, your man's is sus, but alright.
Hey man, come on. He's back in love. Can we just have that a positive moment? That Rusev Day is closer to happening than ever. He
Rusev's
gonna be in.
Rusev's biggest days are more in his rear view than they are in front of him at
I
this
think he
point.
gonna be a Bloodsport. He gonna be a Bloodsport, right?
I
Is
don't
he?
fucking know.
Let me see. He's gonna be at, or maybe he was already. Um, Let me see. Josh Barnett said, "Tell him to reach out to me. Always looking for new blood because he wants Miro and Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. You know who else gonna be a Bloodsport?
Oh,
Natal. Was it? Is it Natalia? I think Natalia. Um, P Dunn.
okay.
Um, Karen Cross. That's your man's.
He did it. He's doing his thing.
He's doing this thing. Yo, shout out. We haven't talked about it also much on the show, but shout out to Chris Bay, just in general.
Yeah, Chris.
Um,
I was nervous when he got in that ring, bro. I was like, "You gotta slow
Bruh,
down. You gotta
yeah,
slow
yeah,
down."
nah, I feel you. I was like, bro, we coulda someone coulda sat on the rope, something like, come on,
Yeah,
we just gonna
bro.
have him enter the ring just like that.
I was like, "Slow down,
Um,
slow down, slow down, slow down." Nah,
and
nah,
shout out
nah.
to CVV, Chris Van Chris Van Vliet. I know I listen to the show, still don't
He's
fucking
a
know how
nice
to
guy.
pronounce his name.
He's a really nice guy.
He's a great guy. Listen, man, just the opportunity. I think if there was a platform that I could write for to write down the top wrestling personalities on the internet,
Mhm.
um, he would be number one. He might be number one. He might be the most important person, one of the more important people in wrestling right now in terms
Yep.
of just personalities. Because the way he's able to like get people to get across their story in such a great way, um, it is what it is. Hold on, my niece is going crazy.
Mm.
Talk some more. Talk about Soraya.
Yeah, we'll talk about Soraya while you go get, the babe. Shout out to his niece. Listen, Soraya, if she comes back, I mean, at the end of the day, it's completely. I would hope it is completely like on a Legends or I don't even know if I want her as a GM anymore. I felt like her GM stint was kind of like something that a lot of people didn't like. I know it's like a different creative team now doing it, but maybe if she does something to NXT, I don't know. I feel as though with how ineffective Ava is as a GM, Soraya would definitely be it would definitely be a step up. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's got a better personality. She can cut better promos. I think that like even though I think she'll probably come in after a lot of the ladies that probably have a connection to her or her time in the business, and that would probably be like Roxanne and Cora. I think a lot of them will probably be gone by the time she's there. There's still like a connection there where she could make with the newer talent there. But like you could put Soraya on LFG. You could put her somewhere else. Like I think that there's definitely a place for her to be if she is willing to take that role and be in that role. I think a large part of the issue with her before was that like they
Mhm.
wasn't trying to really put her in a lot of roles because they thought she would get injured. And I think that maybe it is NXT, maybe it is somewhere where she can kind of flex her muscles in a different way would be good for her. But she seems very open to come back, and if
Yeah.
she's willing to come back, then let her come back.
Um, she's probably I mean, she ends up coming back on like the right. She could definitely do LFG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, she could definitely, and I think she would be a great personality for a host alongside the 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 Bubba Ray and I go from LFG or basically what War Report says because I don't watch the show.
yeah.
So from what I heard, Bubba Ray is actually the best judge,
Yeah,
and
Cyrus
Undertaker
Cyrus
might be
told
the
me
one.
that. Yeah, Cyrus was like, "Yeah, he's actually the one who actually is teaching them how to do stuff, and Taker's just chilling."
Yeah. And apparently, Mickey James calls Michelle McCool anyway to help do things with the show. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. Y'all like it, I love it. Um, I'm sure Booker T is just a fool. Uh, but yeah, no, Soraya, there's definitely they got room for her, and I think for her brand, it'll definitely be great as well.
Yeah.
I know she's like ready to retire. She's like low key is like, yo, I'm ready to stream. Like I'm ready to hang up the boots and they're on the stream. So it is what
Stay
it
on
is.
stream, stay on stream. Let's get down to, like, the big discourse. We haven't talked about discourse online in a while.
The rabble rabbles.
Yeah. So there's a lot of well, I don't even know where to start with the complaints and what people are saying, but, like, people are talking about, "Oh," like, I guess the overarching umbrella argument right now is WrestleMania build this year is bad and is underwhelming and is probably leading to an underwhelming show because and this has gone back to February a month ago when Jay won the Royal Rumble. That was kind of like and to be clear with you, Meals, I still do not understand why people are so mad about this Jay Uso thing when they just loved him 2 months ago.
People are strange. And I think I low key think it might be a vocal minority because realistically, like no one that I see whose opinions that I value really care, or not. I won't say really care, but really detest Jey Uso in any kind of way. I think most people who are of sane mind and body understand what's going on here.
Mhm,
The man is more over than anything has been. This is actually a great kind of like when you think of the story of Jey Uso from where he started as the right hand man to where he's at now. It's actually quite the build and development for his career to end up here.
mhm, mhm,
And even more so on Raw, he's kind of like having to deal with kind of like reaching this height and even some sort of nervousness or trepidation about it himself. He's not his head's not fully in the game, but the Jey Uso thing is very very strange. It gives to me that, and I hate to say this in this way because it's very dismissive, but y'all don't get no bitches if y'all don't understand
But
this.
it's
It's
deeper than that.
sure.
It's like
Of course, it's deeper than that for sure. It's a very surface level of me for sure.
but like okay, really popular babyface, really popular guy. They love him. The WWE's like accurately pushed him to where they needed him to be that like kind of guy that's like next up. Like there is nothing wrong with his placement on these shows. He
Yeah.
is by far and has been by far the most popular person on these shows. Y'all have watched them build him for since 2020. Like this is a 5-year kind of plan for him, and they finally put him in that position. So this was the beginning of it. John Cena not winning the Royal Rumble, it ended up like being whatever because of the elimination chamber moment. People are
Yeah.
mad about Drew McIntyre. People are mad just Meelz, like, because of yesterday, people were booing Bianca Belair. That's why people were mad. I was like, "Are y'all serious? Like, am I taking crazy pills as to, like, like, who gives a shit that she's getting booed right now?" People are mad about the Rhea Ripley stuff. People are mad about, all types of things that are there's something new every single day that they're mad about,
Yeah,
but generally, they're saying that the Mania build is
it's
terrible,
been
and let me
yeah.
remind you guys that last year's Mania build, nothing came together until
This is
literally like the Chicago show of Raw
this
last
is
year.
no better or no worse than how it's been over the last number of years, actually.
I would
Like
argue it's better. I'd argue it's better because a lot of the programs that we're getting and a lot of the matches we're getting have been built for months now.
like the world.
Jay and Gunther is not new. Like, he's
Yeah,
lost to
no.
him a lot, and this is like it's actually going into the story and formulating into the story right now.
I'd say the only thing that could make it better is maybe if Gunther was still undefeated. But realistically, like now people are saying like Gunther's not a good champion. They're saying Cody's not a good champion. They're saying all these things. And I'm like, what I'm confused of like what you want from you want them to just beat everybody else to the like you want everyone to have like these massive undefeated streak. I'm confused of like what makes it good. And I think maybe it's because they're comparing it to the Roman Reigns thing. But even then, you guys complained that that wasn't good because Roman barely showed up towards the last 2 years of his reign. He
Yeah,
barely showed up.
yeah.
So it's like, what are you complaining it? I'm so confused of like where the lying point of the where the build is bad because all these builds have been happening for quite some time, have had major kind of like peak pivotal moments that you can point to and it's like that's where
Yeah.
either that take a shift or that's when shit got real or that's when this got that like all of them even to the point like I think people are complaining that it's like this triple threat with Roman, Punk, and Seth. um
It's a big
and
fucking
what
deal.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, what?
What's better? But that's my thing. What's better than that? Are they trying to say that like what's better than that?
Like,
Like,
yeah, I'm trying to confuse. Did you maybe they just wanted Roman versus Seth? But then also it's like, but none of them honestly, none of these three guys are heels. So it's kind of like
yeah.
you're really like in a weird kind of like exhibition space with this match. But ultimately, you know the history between all three of these people together.
And it's been going since November. Really, since Punk came back and mentioned Roman, but since November and War Games, and
Hey
even Seth's
man,
been a part of that.
The night Punk came back, Seth was kicking his damn feet. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
like, but also he got injured last year. So whatever we were supposed to get last year, we're getting it this year, but in a bigger, way bigger and better, platform. I
Right.
I'm I saw people say there's still time to change out the decision whether you put the belt on Jay or Gunther. I'm like, no, there's no time for that. There makes no sense that you guys are thinking that there's time to either replace Jay or replace whatever is coming in terms
This
of
is
of what's coming out with him.
this is not 1999, nigga. This is
Like,
not.
what are y'all saying right now? What are y'all saying to me right now?
Yeah, I'm confused in terms of now here's the thing. Here's what I want people to keep in perspective about these things. I think you can have underwhelming or it's like television that isn't blowing you out the water, right? Like
Yeah,
you
I'm not saying that people can't be disappointed or they can't feel like that, but like
right.
this is not a general feeling that people have. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
because
looking at
but
the attendance numbers, it's just not.
I'm saying though because I'll say in comparison, and you're gonna say I'm definitely a weeb for this. Um, every week we used to read manga chapters from like Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero or something along those lines, and every week people would have very large sweeping criticisms about the chapter they just read. Oh, I can't believe they're doing this. Oh, I can't believe this is so fucking stupid. Da 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 da. But then essentially, once you read it all in the same time, once you took it in as a whole, instead of like having these reactions after a Raw that maybe you didn't find like super exciting, or after a SmackDown, which to be honest with you, SmackDown is my least favorite show of the week at this point. It isn't just it's not bad, bad. It's just too long, too much filler, too much other shit that's going on. But things are happening on that show all the time and almost in every segment. They're building towards these certain things. Even if you got a fucking LA Knight versus Braun Strowman this week on SmackDown, they're building even towards the little feuds that you're not even sure is going to happen on Mania. They're continuing to tell stories with these things. So it's it's weird to me. It's not weird, but I think people's anger and people's things are misguided when they see these moments that happened. I'll also say like the Naomi Jade um moment as well. People were complaining last week. Uh Naomi, I mean, don't get me wrong. We got complaints about this Jade shit. Stay off social media.
Yeah, we'll
Y'all
get to
making
that
it
on
way more
SmackDown.
confusing, to be honest with you.
Stop
Um
stop trying to make up your own stories, Jay.
yeah, come on, try to fanfic your way through this shit. Um but things are happening and things are progressing in a way, and it might end up being a match. This is a match that we weren't actually sure was going to be on WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Um, and now it feels more likely, to be honest with you, um, just because we haven't seen what the alternative women's program is going to be. Like, I'm sure they want Liv on WrestleMania, but
It
I
looks
don't
like
know
it
where
might be
she.
a tag match
Yeah,
from what
yeah, yeah.
I'm roll with, yeah.
But I'm not sure where they haven't really set up that match as of yet. Um, but there's a lot of things going on and a lot of things going on in WrestleMania, and I think it's just a good idea. I don't know. It's just there's things happening on the show, and I implore people to look at it as kind of a whole, more so than these moments where you end an episode of SmackDown that may have been underwhelming or may have just not ended in the best way, and say like, man, WrestleMania isn't getting me hyped this year. By the
I
time
just
they hit America again, you're gonna be like, oh shit, you know.
I just tend not to
Um,
take a lot of that type of shit, like, seriously, Meals. Like, it just makes legitimately no sense to say that. Like, I think that,
the most
like
viral heel turn in history.
yeah,
And then 2 weeks later, we're like, "I don't know about this WrestleMania build, y'all."
there are people who are legitimately saying that even the Cena and Cody stuff is bad now.
Oh, man, 2 weeks of promos, and they're just saying the same thing. "Oh, man, I don't know about this." You know?
I'm like, "Jesus Christ, do y'all not understand that this is also Cena's last time overseas?" Like, in terms of the wrestling capacity, like, I
Also, he's
just feel like
filming a movie.
yeah, he's filming a movie. This is the
He's not
last
gonna
time
you're not
overseas.
gonna do a pull-apart brawl as immediately as possible because, essentially, they don't want anything to be compromised for the movie that he's filming.
Then the but
So
Mills, then they're gonna say, "Well, why would you make this program anyway?" And then we're back at square one. They're like the people are mad that there's people that are part. I saw a TikTok where somebody was like, "People are part time right now and they're still doing part time shifts." I'm like, but nothing has missed. These people, there are not people on the show every week. Like I guess you're talking about Rock and Cena, and I'm just like, but it's been fine. Like nothing
yeah,
has been actively a nightmare on this build. No, and here's the thing. I think that the way 40 knocked it out the park has people wearing rose tinted glasses because
sure.
nothing that had to do with 40 building to 40 actually let us or clued us in that this was going to be a big deal. Even I went and listened to our predictions from last year. We were kind of like I mean I like we were I guess about a lot of stuff on the card. They ended up just knocking it out the park. Sami Zayn won the right to face Gunther, and what was it, like a gauntlet? It wasn't
Yeah.
even like anything big that led to that.
It just I mean, you had last year, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. Like, come on, man. Y'all not nostalgic for that. I know y'all not nostalgic for that. The Pride versus the Final Testament. LA Knight, AJ Styles, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. The strongest things built on this card are Bailey versus Io Sky, Cody versus Roman, the Bloodline versus Cody and Roman, and that might have been it.
Yeah.
Or Rhea versus Becky as well. Um, but honestly, that might have been it. Like, there's so much moving parts going on, and I think the WWE over the last year has done a better job at incorporating all of these and balancing all of them and making sure that there's moments for it. Last week, we got Street Profits winning the tag titles in the main event of the show.
I
The,
didn't even mention the tag title stuff. Like the SmackDown tag team division, they look like they're getting a match at
yeah,
Mania.
as they
and
should. I mean,
and
they this is the most that they paid attention to tag teams in quite some time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And you
yeah, I
can't
mean,
even say that for the other, if you want to compare it to the show, we're not even really doing that right now, but you can't even say that for the other show. Dynamite.
who are the
Uh,
tag team champions on AEW? Oh,
Bobby
the
and
Hurt Business, the Hurt Business. I forgot.
we hurt people. I don't even know who they're facing right now.
They're
Um,
facing,
they just beat the Outrunners.
no, they're doing the MJF angle, so the tag titles will probably be in purgatory for a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we hurt people. Um, we hurt ratings. No. But
they do indeed do that.
but they I'm just I implore people to kind of look at the thing as a whole. And we're speaking to the people who listen to this show, I think kind of understand it a little bit more of like where we're coming from with this because they listen to us on a weekly basis and we kind of like often preach these things like kind of take it in as a whole. Look at the progress of kind of where things been, where things started. What
But
can you
if
truly
but
complain about?
but
We
if
still got
something's
3 weeks
shitty
left.
if something is shitty, we will call it out. We will call it out. I have not found anything to be egregious in nature other than the Charlotte Flair Tiffany Stratton program.
Yeah.
The Jey Uso program, it is what that is what it is. I still like Jey Uso. I still think he's a great performer. I like the tagline they have for him and Gunther's match. It was like entertainer versus wrestler or some shit like that. It's like entertainer. Like it's like you're they're trying to tell the story that you guys are saying online. Like they're
Hmm.
doing that with Jay right now. They're telling that story right now. It's just like, oh, they don't
Had
think
that
he
nigga
can
trip.
do it. Yeah, that they had him trip on purpose, but again, they're taking real life stuff and making it a thing, and I think that's really really cool. It's really really smart. But people are looking at it like, oh, they're trying to humiliate him. Like, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, kids love this motherfucker, bro. Like, what are you saying? You're like 25. This is reminding me of the people who are getting mad at the Snow White movie. That's what
What's
the
going on
Jey
with Snow
Uso
White?
like the Snow White remake came out and like people are upset because the chick who's playing Snow White, she is very staunchly pro-Palestine and she's co-starring in it with Gal Gadot, who is she's trying not to say she's Zionist, but she was part of the IDF and all that shit. Like like
Hmm.
it's at odds. There's been a lot of rumors coming out about them too. I'm not gonna get into that, but like it's basically they're saying that they're trying to like wokeify it, and this is supposed to be for kids, not for woke people and shit like
Yo,
that. Like
woke is such the way y'all niggas have the way
ruined it.
white people have ruined woke and have made it the scary thing that even someone's entire presidential campaign can be
But
under
that's
the
what it's
pretense
that's
of
what it's reminding me of is like grown people trying to shit on stuff that's actually really not for them. You know what I mean? Like the kids gotta have something. You know what I mean? Like they gotta have something for their enjoyment. You know what I mean? And I just think that a lot of this is overblown. But I do think that patient zero was Jey Uso winning, which I did not think would break people's brains in this way. Meals like I did not know that this was going to piss people off so much.
but it's like they're saying Jey Uso can't wrestle and he isn't ready and shouldn't be world champion. But then the nigga who can wrestle and is ready and who is world champion, y'all saying that his reign is ass. So it's like, what do you want realistically? Do you want another umpteen million day intercontinental championship reign like Gunther had? Like, I'm confused of what you kind of want. You have to be able to tell the story in a way, and I think they've managed to tell the story and adding some vulnerability to Jey Uso, which he has had rightfully so. I mean, the man has had quite a career. He's had his brother turn on him, had his family turn on him. He's got back together. He's gone to the top. He's made it to the bottom. He's faced every little bit of adversity and emotion that you can over the last year, and this is the biggest story that he can tell for himself. This is ultimately it's just me, Oos, the movie.
Yeah.
Like this is it. And even still, you guys are like, I don't know. Like, come on, bro.
But what don't you know? But actually, it don't matter what you don't know, because this is whatever's gonna happen with him is gonna happen, and there's nothing that these people can say or do to stop it,
Yeah, no.
because
Cause niggas is buying yo, we go to see Jay like y'all, I don't know who these people complain, but y'all ain't go to a live show and experience Jay Uso. Like
The Jey Uso experience is different, bro. I'm
This
telling
shit
you,
is
I've
fun,
seen it.
bro. And niggas like him. So it just is what it is. Gunther as well. Gunther's great at his job as well. Now, I would also like to know your temperature on El Grande Americano that people seem to be up in arms about for whatever reason.
For what?
Niggas are upset about AI art.
Okay.
Niggas are upset about they said this shit is racist. They
I
say
don't
this
s
is some Vince shit.
I don't understand. Well, they oh my god. They had no problems with MJF doing it last year and shitting on other countries, right? He did that for, like, a good 2 months, right?
Mhm.
That during that perplexing return that he had to the company. Uh, there's always been
Gulf
angles
of
where
America. I knew he was MAGA. And I'm just
which
like, bro.
which is like, this is not pointing fun at, like, how stupid Chad Gable is? Like, is it not because, like, this whole thing is absurd, so they're trying to make it even more absurd? Like, this whole
Absolutely.
thing is absurd. So what happened to just having fun or there being fun? Like, again, like, we I will rightfully call out some bullshit. The WrestleMania roast shit is fucking horse shit. We're not covering it. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
This is just some this is within the show. He is not out there saying we need to build the wall. That's number 1. He's not out there calling ICE on innocent people.
He's not
He's
doing shit that y'all niggas should actually be on the internet complaining about. Niggas that got Columbia University, bound essentially bending knee. Like this is some we could go in a whole different fucking
it's fine. It's
discussion about
fine.
this
Like,
like this
no,
fascist
fuck
shit
it.
that's happening right now.
There's a
But
bunch of fascist shit going on that's a lot bigger and a lot more to talk about than fucking Chad Gable putting on a mask so that he can get one over on all the luchadors. I saw somebody say like, "Oh, there's a lot of luchadors that have families that y'all could talk about." I'm like, and they
that's
do
what I'm
talk
saying.
about them. They
I
do
was
talk
like
about
I was like, what kind of bone like there's other luchadors you could be using in this program at this point. I'm just
and
like,
they're on TV.
yeah. So what do you want niggas to hire? I mean, Lince Dorado is already hired, so from what I heard. But it's like, so you want him to hire and you want him to be like a hired man of American Alpha? Like, is it you want him? Like, I'm confused of like, you know what the storyline is. So I don't understand
And
why
you
you're
knew
acting
and you
obtuse
and
about it.
and you knew what it was leading to. Is my fault is the crazy part. You knew what this was leading to. You knew he was coming back and doing this. You knew he was
And
coming back and he was gonna do this.
and when he get his mask pulled off, there's gonna be a huge pop from the crowd, and then they gonna hit him with the 619 and bada bing, bada boom. Like, I'm confused of this is Chad Gable. Chad Gable hasn't done a serious thing.
Ever. He died on TV and came back.
This nigga held a spelling bee on national television. Like, this is Chad Gable for the being outrageous of outrageous. This is his MO. People saying, "Does Chad Gable ever say no?" And I was like, "That's why this nigga still has a job, nigga."
Yeah, I'm also like that shit's confusing to me because it's like he's not going to say no because this is legitimately the one thing that will keep him fucking employed right now is doing this shit. Like
Yeah, but
what?
also I feel like if Ray I don't wanna say this because sometimes people have messed up thoughts and things, but if Ray had a problem with it, they wouldn't be doing it. But some niggas allow shit anyway, but
Mills. If Ray had a problem with it, he should have had a problem with JBL doing what he did back in the day. Am I wrong?
no, you're not. But again, like, none of this screams racism to me, and I'm not the affected party in this situation.
There is no
I'll ju
affected party.
I'll ju
He is not here's the thing, there is no affected party other than, like, you wanting to be affected by it.
Yeah, yeah, essentially.
It is
Like the Bianca
legitimately
thing,
what her getting booed in Belgium
or getting booed in Glasgow
or in Glasgow,
because
whatever. Who gives a shit?
I understand why she's booed. I mean, she's doing something that's not likable. She's essentially being like the the student in class who's like, "Teacher, we did." She's like, "No, she has to qualify." They want Rhea to do the cool thing, which is like sign her name on the thing and be inserted in the match, and Bianca's like, "Fuck no. I had to wrestle 5 other women
Yeah,
through my own trauma that I had to deal with,
my own
and I
trauma.
had to
Fuck outta here.
and I had to qualify." Jade looked with one eye, Jade knew it was Naomi, and I had to figure this shit out. And apparently Jade never trusted me at all. Jade was like, "I trusted her less than Naomi," and I was like, "Bitch, what?"
Imagine us stopping doing the show, and then I'm like, "You know what? I never really even liked Meelz, to be honest with you. Like, I never trusted him at all." Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was closer to Carlos. I was like, "What?" Whatever. Um, but yeah, none of that. I mean, y'all. I think y'all energy is very, very weird right now. But it also things with people who feel like it's also getting mixed up in like essentially like standum. Like people, you enjoy these people a lot, so you don't necessarily like when things that aren't as ideal as you would hope happen to them. But realistically, this is how the wrestling business works.
But not even that, it's how storytelling works, man. Like, the story can't just be what y'all want the story to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Severance, I'm watching Severance right now. Severance isn't gonna move by what, like, they're not doing fan casting and Twitter casting and Twitter storylines. They're doing whatever story that they wanna tell. They're telling whatever story they wanna tell. And power to them for doing that. They're better for it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, don't get upset because the fake show isn't doing the fake things you wanted it to do. Like, what are you what? What are you saying? Makes literally no sense. Like, I cannot believe people are trying to pull the they hate black people thing on Bianca when they cheered her when she came out. They didn't boo her when she came out.
I know why. I know why they booing her, but that's. I'm just like, bro, what?
Crazy, man.
It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. Um, I saw this other thing that just popped up on. I'm not gonna even say the headline is crazy,
What?
but no, it's MVP related.
Oh no, I'm out.
The quote last
MVP.
week.
Say a name or I'm not trying to hear it.
Yeah,
Say a name or I'm not trying to hear it. If you're not gonna say a name, then cut it out because I don't really
yeah,
care anymore.
yeah. At
To
this
be honest
point,
with
like,
you.
there's nothing you can do. You could have did something when you were there, but you ain't. So what
Yeah,
are you gonna
fuck
do?
that. Um,
Um,
that I think that's it for the
I
week.
think that's it.
We're gonna talk.
Natural disasters going in the Hall of Fame. Were you a natural
Yeah.
disasters fan?
No, I'm young.
Okay, all
I'm a YN.
right. That's all I got.
Right. We're gonna talk about Cody, Cena, SmackDown, Roman, Punk, Seth, the Pull Apart Brawl, and more, as well as Charlotte and Tiffany's much talked about face to face
Mm.
confrontation or via satellite to via satellite confrontation on the rest of the show. So make sure you tap into our Patreon to hear the rest of our show reviews. But until then, we'll see you next week as we are winding down the days and the weeks until WrestleMania. We're under 30 days now. So get ready for a lot more stuff coming up. And please, for the love of God, guys, if you're not feeling this shit, stop watching it. Just listen to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, just start watching it. There's no need to just complain all day about this shit. Like, unless you're making a living out of it, stop watching this shit. Anyway, for Meals, I'm Justin. We'll see you guys later.